Hi, so I wanted to do a video on how to get out of a rut and just become excited about life again, because personally, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or what, but I've just had so many weeks where I'm just in this endless rut and I just lose my excitement for life. I wrote a blog post about this topic and I was talking about how, you know, when you're little and you just had this inner spark for life that just genuinely made you feel excited to be alive. Like no matter what was coming up, whether it was Christmas or summer break or whatever, you were just genuinely so excited to be alive. So yeah, that inner spark of just excitement is what I mean when I talk about becoming excited about life again. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video on like how to get out of a rut and get that inner spark back, and basically like what I did. Okay, so one of my goals for 2021 was to journal every single Sunday, because I just think journaling is a good way to document what's going on in your life, because it's so easy to forget and it also allows you to just notice patterns. Okay, so from journaling so far, every single Sunday, what I've noticed is that I tend to get into a rut whenever I try to go 0 to 100 on some type of goal or just something in my life. And then when I go from being into a rut and then trying really hard to get out of a rut, it makes me get very overwhelmed and depleted, and then I inevitably go back into the rut. Like, you know, whether it comes to school or the gym or trying to eat healthy, when you first start a goal, you have all this motivation and energy to try to like go at the goal as perfectly as possible. And so because I'm going at this like intense pace, which is completely unsustainable, I inevitably crash and I get into a rut for weeks, and then I'm complaining like, why am I in a rut? Why don't I feel excited about life again? So that was just a pattern that I've noticed. And I was talking to my friend about this and she said the same thing, like especially when it comes to trying to eat healthy, like when you try to do it so perfectly, you just inevitably crash and it leads to binge eating, and it's just such an unhealthy cycle that we're both trying to get out of. So I think the first step in trying to become excited about life again is to notice when you start to fall into a rut and like what causes it and why. And for me, journaling really helped me do that, because there's just so much that happens every single week that you just don't remember, but journaling allows you to like have a physical record to encapsulate a moment. But yeah, the first step is you need to properly like analyze like, when do I start to get into a rut and what is causing it and why. And so for me, instead of trying to go from literally 0 to 100 when I try to do something, whether it's eating clean or going to the gym, I want to go from like 0 to 10 and then 20 and then 30 and 40 and slowly build my way to 100 at a pace that I can actually maintain, instead of trying to be absolutely perfect from the get-go. So for example, the gym's just opened up in my city, and instead of trying to go every single day because I have all this motivation and I'm trying to lose weight, I'm choosing to go at a pace that I know that I can actually maintain for months and will not cause me to quickly burn out. Because I notice whenever I get burnt out, I get into a rut, and it's like a never-ending cycle of just, I'm in a rut, so therefore I eat unhealthy, and then I don't get as much sleep. Because you know, like when you're in a rut, it's not like you want to do things that are good for you. You kind of just like lean more towards things that you know, that you subconsciously know will make you feel worse, but you end up doing it anyways. And consistency is something that I'm trying to get better at, and I think that the best way to prove to yourself that you can be consistent at something is to start small and then build from there, because it's easy to be consistent when the goal is small and simple. Rather than trying to be consistent at this huge goal, just start small and build from there. I feel like the theme is just stop trying to go from 0 to 100, just go from 0 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, just slowly and consistently pace yourself. Okay, so then I think the next step is to incorporate things into your life that genuinely make you feel good and just make you feel at peace. Like, you know that feeling when nothing is really bothering you and you just kind of feel like yourself again? Whatever it is, you just need to do it. So for me, guided meditations and exercise make me feel like myself again. There's a YouTuber named Jason Stevenson. He does these guided meditations and they are so amazing. Like, I honestly feel like they have saved my life and just brought me so much mental clarity. Dude, meditation is so powerful and transformative, and it's one of those things that if you start doing it consistently and you notice the changes that come when you do it, you can honestly never go back. Like whenever I get stressed or I'm in a rut or whatever, I'm always like, okay, if I do his guided meditations, I know I will start to feel better. So whatever it is for you that allows you to feel like yourself again and just reconnect with yourself, do it for a few days and I promise you'll start to feel better. And I also noticed that when you start doing something that makes you feel good, you gravitate towards other things that make you feel good. Like when you actually start to take care of yourself, you gravitate towards other things that are healthy for you. Like for example, exercise. Like when you start to exercise, you no longer feel so tempted by like unhealthy food. Okay, so then after a few weeks of doing this, you should hopefully start to feel like your spark is coming back and kind of feel more excited about life again. And this is when I just start to plan for something in the future, because planning just makes me feel so excited. Like it's just something to look forward to. And since we're only a few months into 2021, I broke up 2021 into quarters. So like the first quarter is January to March, and then the second quarter is April to June. And I kind of just like planned like what I wanted to do every single quarter for the remaining quarters of the year. And how I was gonna do it and how I was gonna properly pace myself so I don't burn out and get into a rut again. So just figure out a goal or a dream that you have that you really want to achieve and that genuinely makes you feel so excited when you think about it. And from my own personal experience and what I've been talking about in this video, it can be so easy to feel so ambitious and motivated in the beginning. You kind of plan out this very unrealistic way of obtaining or reaching that goal. So you need to make sure that you plan at a pace that you know that you can actually sustain for a long period of time, however long it's going to take you to achieve the goal. But yeah, when you're like planning everything out, it is so important to have a realistic perspective of what you can actually do. And honestly, you know yourself the best. Like you know what you can actually achieve in a given time span. So have a realistic perspective when you're trying to plan everything out. And it is so important to go at a pace that you can actually sustain, because the worst feeling is disappointing yourself and then falling into that endless rut of just feeling overwhelmed and stressed and disappointed. And once you figure out a plan of how you want to achieve something that brings you excitement when you even think about it, you just have to go after it. And I feel like this is the fun part, because you genuinely feel excited when you even think about it. So anyways, this is the end of the video. I really hope there's somebody out there that this can help. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.